The 2024 Dodge Charger Daytona, an incoming disaster EV that is way too pricey and not exactly way too good looking for its own good. Now, I leaked last month on my Instagram the actual cost of the Charger Daytona EV, just the scat pack, and it's going to cost over $82,000. But I know I haven't really given my personal opinion about the Charger Daytona recently, as I was supposed to go to Speed Week and go to Roadkill Nights and all that stuff. But we're going to get into that in this video. Now, if you guys are not going to be spending $80-something thousand for a Dodge electric vehicle and you want to keep your current Mopar on the road, or a pony car or SUV or whatever you have that's pretty fast, then check out my friends at Just Bulldogs and DragRacingWheels.com. They have all the parts that you need at the best prices online. And with my promo code BUTTER that you can use at checkout, you get an additional up to 15% off on your next order. So check out my friends at JustBulldogs.com. We have everything from tonneau covers, sticky Mickeys, welded racing wheels, whatever you can think of, they got it. Now I'm over 35,000 friends and the 71% not yet subscribed. I know I've been gone for a while, especially the last couple months. I haven't really making videos like that. But as some of you guys have seen with some other YouTubers who's had some family issues, now I'm going through the same thing. So I've been taking a lot of my time off and doing that. And that's why I haven't been able to go to some of the events that I was supposed to be going to. Now, I was supposed to go to Roadkill Nights, and I was going to meet up with a Dodge CEO and go have a chat with him about the current state of affairs with Dodge and stuff. And I was going to go chat about some things that me and him discussed in the background about the current cars and how Dodge can still make money off the current cars and still support them in the future, because I don't see the Charger Daytona in any variant being successful for Dodge. I think it's going to be the next coming of the Dodge Hornet. And we already know, from especially watching all TK's videos and OC Motivators videos, the needle has not moved that much on the Dodge Hornet. That car is like, I mean, what other kind of bus can you think of? It's like Ford Pinto bus without the flames from people hitting it in the rear. That Dodge Hornet is just so bad. And then even, you know, them trying to give people 0% interest for like 82 months, people still are not buying the Hornets. That car does not identify with Dodge's customer base. And this is along the same lines of how I feel with the Charger Daytona. This car does not align with what customers want. And if you build products that customers don't want, you're going to lose the customers that you already have. And like I said, this current Charger Daytona is already did that, right? I mean, even from the first videos, when we saw the digital renderings of it.
Hold on a minute. Did we hear that right? Dodge is making an electric car?
We're talking hypothetical, right?
It looked pretty intriguing. I'm not going to lie. It was very intriguing. But as I started doing more videos about it and started showing you guys some of the stuff I found out about it, about all the hidden crap that's going to be packed in that car, it just started seeming less and less appealing. Because like I said, I was going like, oh man, I think this would be a very cool car, but only if it complemented my current car. Now, if I had a Banshee beside a Demon, like my Demon right here, that would make sense. But to go ahead and just go cold turkey in 1 year, no 392s, no 5.7s, no 6.2 Hemis. I mean, Dodge literally just committed. I'm not going to say the word, but you know exactly what they did. So just looking at some of the actual clips from Roadkill Nights and the actual video, I'll show you this clip right here. Of that Charger Daytona speeding down this road right here and making that sound with that Proxonic chamber exhaust. And then doing the donuts, I was like, oh my gosh, this seems such like a terrible idea. Like, who in the world approved this? I mean, it's just so bad. Like, just listen to the edit. You go hear that Charger Daytona spinning around in circles. It kind of reminded me like an old bad Chinese film where like someone starts talking and then next thing you know, about 2-3 seconds later, then the dialogue happens. The lips are moving first, then you got dialogue. And that's kind of how the Charger Daytona is. That computer does not know how it should sound or how a car that's doing donuts should sound while it's doing it. The thing is sounding like it's like, I'm like, what in the world is this? Like, I think so many people sent me that clip. Cause like I said, I've been gone for the past basically about 2 months, not really making videos. And the videos you did see, I made those a few weeks before. I just got around to actually finish editing them. So people were sending me these clips and everyone just consistently said that this car sounds horrible. And I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of its styling. I think this car is ugly. I mean, I haven't seen one in person and I don't see any way that me seeing the person is going to change my opinion that every angle I look at this car, it doesn't look good. This car to me, the Charger Daytona, it looks like it is a prototype for the car that Dodge is supposed to come out with. It looks unfinished, especially the front. That front bumper is just so god awfully ugly. I don't know who even approved it. Now, if it was a front end for just the EV, that's one thing. But for it to be the front end for the inline six cars, that thing is terrible looking. Now, there was this video clip when Tim Knissis was showing at this promo for the Charger Daytona of this car under this tarp, this red car. Now, we didn't see the front end of this car, but that front end looked way better than what we got right here with the Charger Daytona. Now, I did say something to Tim Knissis about this car. I think I said something to him back around like February or March. And I was like, where we want to see this car at that was teased under the covers? And he was like, oh, well, some things don't go according to plan and we should have more stuff out, in the next coming months. And then like clockwork, that's when this first video of all this EV crap with all the DH, Dodge brothers came out. And so I was like, oh God, this Charger Daytona is just going to be a huge disaster. Like, I mean, I don't even think I don't know what Dodge can do to turn that around. It's something that majority of the customers don't want. And then the majority of people who want EVs, they don't want performance EVs, right? I mean, Tesla doesn't sell plaids left and right out the door. They sell majority of their base market. People want cheap electric vehicles, and having an $82,000 scat pack is not it. Because like I said, I posted on my Instagram. I'll put a picture up there on my Instagram from a dealer who gave me this information about how much those first edition Charger Daytonas is going to cost. And so $82,000 for a scat pack, and then $68,000 for an RT. And RT is basically like a watered down scat pack with things that you cannot do and that you can do in a scat pack. I think some of the stuff I read from the press release, which this is some of the stuff I was going to ask the new CEO Matt about, that the RT is basically just a watered down version. You're going to be missing the ability to go to two-wheel drive. You're going to be missing some of the stuff in there, like you're not gonna have like a power hatch release for the rear hatch. So it's like they're gonna cut some stuff out of that car, obviously to bring the cost down. But it's like they cut stuff out of the RT, but it's not gonna be like, I mean, if it was like 58K, then maybe the RT will look more appealing. But for $70,000, you have a watered down car. I mean, $70,000 was a pretty good equipped Hellcat, and that's supposed to be an RT now. So Stellantis just doesn't make any sense with them trying to scream that, oh, customers want freedom of mobility, freedom of mobility, freedom of mobility. And we're going to come out with an $18,000 or $20,000 Jeep in like 2 or 3 years. But then now you're going to offer like an $80-something thousand Dodge Charger that you've gotten roasted in literally every single comment, every single post. Everyone's roasting people about this car. And I mean, even some of the more positive Dodge influencers, they can't deny that the way this company is going down the drain. So I was like presently shocked in the background, just because I haven't been, as I said, making videos, but I have been watching it in the background. And so it's presently shocking to me and some other people I'm talking to that some of the more positive Dodge influencers have now came up to the dark side because they can no longer deny what all of us see. Because I mean, I know not everything that I say that you guys agree with, but a lot of stuff that I say, a lot of stuff I point out, I kind of have the pulse of what everyone is feeling. And these cars just are not it. I mean, there is no way that I would ever buy a Banshee and get rid of my Demon. There's like no way. That car is going to be just so stronger out. And I just think it's going to be a terrible car because we have problems now where these cars have build issues. These cars have engine failures. The last call cars, they're having issues where plants aren't welding some of these cars together right. Where you got windshields cracking, you got materials failing, right? You got Ram trucks having, I was talking to a dealer buddy of mine today. He was, well, not today, a few weeks ago, and he was saying some of those brand new Ram 1500 with the Hurricane engine, they've had to go get engine parts replaced on them. They've had to go limit a couple of them, just sitting on the lot, we're limiting them because they won't start. Then you got all these people getting laid off because everyone is not buying the product because the product had done turned to crap over the last few years. And so I know people have gotten on me and TK and OC motivated by us coming out with these videos where we're talking about all the bad stuff that's going on. But now everyone is kind of seeing that we were ahead of the curve of what was to come within this company. You can't just have it to where like you have us trying to call out the quality issues so they can get ahead. And then you have some of these Dodge apologists trying to attack me and TK and all of us and talking about we're doing this for clicks and views and all this other nonsense. And then now all of a sudden, when the crap hits the fan and Dodge and Stellantis and Ram and all them, it's having 50% sales drop. Dealers are hurting. Dealers are closing dealerships. Dealers want Stellantis to buy back millions of dollars of inventory. We were ahead of the curve. And so it's not really that too difficult to see that if you don't keep up with what your customers want and keep your quality up, things are going to go bad. And things for Stellantis have gone bad real fast. And now you have what the great grandson of Chrysler want to take Dodge and Chrysler and Plymouth back. You got investors suing Stellantis here in the United States. And then I saw an article the other day that Stellantis in Europe are trying to sue Stellantis as well for them doing some shady stuff in the background, lying about the inventories and stuff. So there's been a lot of shady stuff this company has done in the background. And, you know, me, TK, OC, we're just scratching the surface. I mean, we literally have employees coming out of the woodwork almost every single day telling us about stuff that's going on within this company. And those same employees, a lot of them are working on this new Charger Daytona. And that Charger Daytona is a disaster behind the scenes. Because as I've said in other videos and stuff, the Charger Daytona was supposed to have been out 2 months ago. They sent information to the dealers for them to start ordering the car back in like May. And then the cars were supposed to hit the dealerships in July. And then here we go. There's no ETA on when those cars are going to come. And then I think I saw Matt was talking about on, I don't know if he was talking to Racer X or that, but he was talking to somebody. And he was like, the cars got pushed back to now. The EV might not come out to fourth quarter this year. And then the inline 6 cars, they're not going to come out until second half of next year. That's how bad that Charger Daytona is in the background. It literally got delayed 6 to 12 months, depending on which variant we're talking about here. And so, like I said, I was excited about that car, but like I said, as I started, hearing from employees, reading some of the patents, reading some of the press releases, and then watching clips about it, this car is just going to be a disaster. Like, this is going to be Hornet 2.0, but I think worse, because I don't think they thought that the Hornet was going to be like a very big selling car, but they are banking on the Charger Daytona being a huge selling car, especially when you only have a Charger Daytona, a Durango, and a Hornet in your lineup. They only got 3 cars in the lineup, and they haven't told us anything else they're going to come out with. So the Charger Daytona has to be that mass available vehicle, but it's not. Right? I mean, EVs are going downhill. Everyone's starting to reverse what they want to do and how they want to launch EVs. And then now we know we're going to be 1 year delayed on even seeing the hurricanes. And I know all these people saying, "Oh, give the hurricanes a chance. V8s are old. They're dirty and they're old technology." But at least old technology works, because these hurricanes, they're not working that great. I mean, the only vehicle that they're in is the Grand Wagoneers and the Wagoneers. And you see how bad those vehicles are doing. They was on the worst selling list at one point in time too. They're one of the worst quality vehicles in the country right now. And then now they're in the Ram trucks. They've been in the Ram trucks since like March, right? The Ram trucks quality have slipped a lot. The Ram trucks can't start. Ram trucks, they're playing around with the shifts. They about to start, well, I did do that one video where the UAW talking about that Ram's getting sabotaged, and it seems as though Stellantis is going to try to make the play to move the rest of Ram trucks production out of Shap down to Mexico to kind of cut costs for them, but they're not going to lower the cost for you, because once they announced the Ram trucks was coming out for 2025 model year with the hurricanes in it, they did like a huge price increase for an engine that's supposed to be cheaper to make than a Hemi. That's supposed to be more cleaner and efficient for a Hemi. And so that's why I don't even think there's even going to be really any relief when these Charger Daytona prices for these hurricanes come out. Like, I mean, it's already bad enough the EVs are like that much cost. I mean, $82,000 for a Scat Pack Charger Daytona. I mean, that's a super stock, right? That's like, a freaking Tesla Model S Plaid, 1,000 horsepower. That's like what, 90, 95. So another 10 grand, you can get another 400 something horsepower, and it'll just absolutely smoke a Charger Daytona. And then you have what, the Tesla Model 3 performance. I think that car is where what, in the 60s, 70s, and it will absolutely destroy a Charger Daytona, let alone an RT. I mean, RT gonna get smoked by a non Model 3 performance car. And Stellantis thought it was just such a bright idea to just price a car like that. And I mean, that Charger Daytona, it just makes me mad on so many levels that this is what Dodge followed up to the Hellcat platform. They followed up these legendary cars. These cars are here gonna go down in history as some of the best cars that Dodge ever made. Going to be go down in history as some of the best cars in the last 20 years. That's how long they've been out. I mean, how many places can you go where you get a car that drives like a Mercedes that has like 1,000 horsepower and that can literally beat almost any car on the street without modifications to it? I mean, it's not too many places you can go to get a car like this. And, for the money, 120 grand before dealers started being shady with these cars, that's a great deal for a car like this. I mean, not even thinking about this, just a Red Eye or a Hellcat, 60s and 70s and 80 grand, that's just crazy deals. But now we're going down to lower tier cars, these EVs that you can't drive out of town. And so, I mean, the Charger Daytona, like I said, it just feels as though to me that it is like not a finished product. It is a prototype to the car that we are supposed to get. It just seems so unpolished to me. The interior, I'm not gonna lie, the interior looks very nice, but interior also pisses me off, because if Stellantis can put that kind of interior in a Charger Daytona, they literally have 5 years to put a different interior inside the current cars to make it better. They had 5 years and they didn't do a jack. All they did was sit back, collect all the extra money, and take all the extra money they made from these cars and put it in that damn dumb car. And I mean, it's like, how could you want to support them for doing that? They could have been made the interior of this car way better. They could have been at LED lights and pistol shifters and all this other stuff. They could have changed the gauge console up. They could have did all that crap. They could have did a mid-cycle refresh on this car. They could have sent this car out for another about 2-3 years while they iron out what's going on with the electric car. I mean, I don't think anyone would have been mad at Dodge, and they would have just basically did an interior refresh of this car, change the interior out, make it look better, the release of it in about 3 to 4 years, and then bam. And then bam, there you go. You can release the next generation of this car, right? Because I mean, if Dodge didn't shut down Brampton now, they could have had like the next model year out now. So that's one model year right there. And then the electric vehicle is going to be coming out maybe December this year. So maybe the first of the year we're going to see more and more models. So that's literally year 2. That's 2 years that they could have had with this car with a better interior in it, right? And then you got until almost the end of next year, you gonna have the Hurricanes coming out in the next gen car. So that's almost 3 model years that Dodge wasted by dropping this platform that was at a different plant while they're trying to iron the kinks out with the new platform. So I mean, it just a lost opportunity, and it just goes to show that Carlos Tavares, he may be a great CEO when it comes to cutting costs, but he's not a great CEO when it comes to intelligence. And so, like I said, honestly, no one would have faulted Dodge for doing a little bit of tweaks here and there, let these cars stay around for a few more years. I mean, hell, you could have put Hurricanes in these cars for the lower tier cars to save some money. I don't know, eliminate the RT or something like that. But there's a lot of things that could have been done, and it just goes to show with how bad Stellantis is doing, how often they're getting sued. Investors suing them. Some of you guys are suing them. Their shareholders are suing them. It just goes to show that, when you have bad management, it can either sink not really either. You can either sink or just have your company run on all cylinders. But this company is not doing good. And Dodge, I hope that Tavares wises up and try to sell the company to Chrysler's great grandson, because there is nothing on the horizon that I know about from talking to people who work there. There's nothing coming out in the next 3 to 5 years, especially talking to dealers, that's going to make people think that Dodge is going to make a rebound. That Charger Daytona is not going to be it. I mean, unless they put a Hemi in a car, there's no way. Hurricanes are not going to work. Because as I said before, if Dodge try to come out with a Hurricane that costs like 70 grand, 80 grand for like the high output Hurricane in a Charger Daytona, I'd rather go buy a BMW. At least that BMW looks better. It has a way better track record, and I get more clout with it. But man, oh man, oh man. But yeah, I kind of rambled on a little too long. I didn't really want to make a very too long video about this, but I want to give you guys my opinion about the Charger Daytona. Like I was invited to go test drive it, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's going to matter how many influencers try to do a positive spin on the Charger Daytona. If the people don't want it, the people want Hemis, the people want better quality. It's not going to matter how many influencers keep trying to, kiss Dodge's rear end to make it seem better than what it really is. But let me know what you guys think. And I'm going to be back making more videos and stuff. Like I said, I've had some family health issues that's technically not going to get better, but I'm hanging in there. So I'll be make sure to make sure to make you guys some more videos and stuff. And until the next time, I'm out.